Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Commonwealth Stadium, part 2 of icuvideo's coverage of the Metro Athletics High School Football Championships. Now, after the Miles Championship game and a pretty exciting game in some really strange conditions, we have the CARR Conference Championship, and this features John Belmont, one of the top teams in the province, the Harry Ainlay Titans.
They're a very well-balanced ball club offensively and defensively. They've got tremendous size, and they've got outstanding speed at the skill positions and in their line.
And a young team that is here for, I think, the first time, if I'm not mistaken, the Bellerose Bulldogs.
Bellerose has done a great job over the last number of years under Chad Hill, their coach, and he also coaches their junior program. He just does a tremendous amount there. They have lost their quarterback for this game, which is going to be very difficult for them.
All right, there's no question that both these teams are deserving of being here. Let's talk to the coaches about the strengths of the opposition.
They have a lot of strengths. It'd take me 10 minutes to list all of them. Their speed is probably their greatest asset. They have speed everywhere on the field, offense and defense. Obviously, the offense gets most of the attention. Number 21, phenomenal talent, Hume. He's a game changer. Number 1, the grade 10, Adjo. Very difficult to cover. He's big, he's fast, and obviously Rosary in the backfield, number 22. He can score anytime he has the ball. So trying to defend their team speed is going to be a difficult task, one that we have to do better at this time around than we did back in week 3.
They're an athletic team. You can tell that they got some good coaching there. So, I just think we need to watch their offense for a lot of dynamic plays. They have a lot of big hitters and home run hitters. So we're trying to limit their big plays with some of their outside athletes and, see if we can balance our offensive attack to keep them honest and, work the parts of the field that we feel we can gain an advantage.
Well, they're definitely one of the top teams in the league with their defense. They have a lot of speed and a lot of strength up front on their D-line. Their linebackers definitely know how to flow and get down into the run game, and they can drop back too and make some stops in the pass.
Since we've already played them before, they know exactly, not exactly, but they know what we like to do, where we like to run the ball, who our strong players are, and for sure it'll be a challenge.
Well, as John Belmont mentioned, the Bellerose Bulldogs in trouble deep. They've lost their number 1 quarterback, Quade Kozak. He has a broken ankle suffered in a game last week. Their backup quarterback, a young man by the name of Cordell Caillou, he hasn't had that much experience as far as quarterbacking is concerned. And the same thing, too, with the other quarterback, Eli Hettinger of Harry Ainlay. Just a youngster, but boy, has he set this league on fire. Just one of the many keys to victory.
Absolutely.
We're going to have to be able to run the ball more consistently than we did last time around. We're also going to have to be able to hit some of the deep balls that we just missed. Could have been a different game. 3 or 4 of those deep balls were missed by a yard or 2. If we connect on those, it's probably a different score in the ball game. Obviously, with our quarterback going down and being out, our offense is going to look a little different this week. So there's a lot of guys that are going to be asked to do some different things. But first and foremost, our O-line is going to have to provide protection for our quarterback. They're going to have to open up some holes in the running game.
We've done a good job starting games off the way we wanted to start them off and playing with good emotion, but it is a fine line between making sure that you're not too amped up and that you get out of character. So as coaches and players, it's going to, we always kind of have a calm feel each and every game, prior to kickoff at some point. And I think we'll find time to calm ourselves and to get in that mental state and still find a way to play with emotion and energy.
Well, John Belmont, we saw the effects of the weather on the first 2 teams that played here in the Miles Conference Championship. Anything that surprised you out there as far as the conditions are concerned?
Not really. The field conditions as far as footing goes is excellent. There's no problem there. The wind is swirling. It's coming down the field from the northeast, and as you know, it bounces off the press box in this area and it swirls out into the field.
Boy, do I know that.
But the way the players are throwing the ball, they don't get the big arcing throws here. and also the punting and kicking game. If you can find, if you really kick the ball high here and you don't know the field well, you can kick it into that swirling wind and it'll take off in different directions on you. So it can be a problem.
And there, of course, is the unknown factor, playing at Commonwealth Stadium. We talked to both coaches about that.
I haven't coached in a senior championship game, only at the JV level. So yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, for the school, the only senior championship since the breakup of the St. Albert Storm is the 2007 Miles Championship, and that was pre-merger with Public. So this is the biggest game, in my opinion. This is the biggest game for Bellerose Bulldogs football organization, and the fact that it's at Commonwealth is just an added bonus. You know, we were lucky we got to play a spring league game there, so a lot of the boys on our roster have played there. So I'm hoping, obviously it's still going to be awe-inspiring, but I don't think it'll be a distraction in any sort of way. If anything, it'll motivate these guys that little bit extra. Fantastic venue, so we're very fortunate that we're able to play there this week.
Yeah, it'll be new for us and new for them, and I think you just got to make sure that your excitement doesn't affect your play, and that the emotions kept under wraps in terms of it being a different feel and something that's new for us. So I think the big thing for us is to know that wherever we're playing, we got to focus play to play on our job and enjoy the surroundings and the atmosphere, but also kind of forget about it in a certain way and just treat the game as another game.
All right, let's go downstairs for the introduction of the players.
Number 9. Number 93, Mike Morgan. Number 94, Isaiah Neal. And number 99, Lual Uguak. And ladies and gentlemen, head coach Brock Ralph and the rest of the Harry Ainlay Titans coaching staff.
Back after the introduction of all the players here, the Harry Ainlay Titans in the white jerseys and the Bellerose Bulldogs in the black and dark blue jerseys. And we will have the playing of the national anthem and get this football game underway, the CARR Championship.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
A great job by Lauren Mercer on the national anthem, and it wasn't because she was nervous out there. It's just a little tough breathing in that cold air when you're trying to sing.
That's got to be tough out there in the field. Let's say the wind's coming down the field a little bit, and it's difficult. She did a wonderful job.
Minus 11 is the temperature, by the way, but the wind chill factor is something like minus 17. So you know it's going to be vicious out there for these players.
It will, but for the players right now, the adrenaline is pumping through them. They're going to be plenty fine. The guys on the field will be fine. The ones that are standing on the bench and that, they're going to be around those heaters a little bit because it's going to affect you, and especially going to affect you in the hands. And the thing that probably bothers players the most, the cold, is the hands and the feet. And as long as they're okay there, they should be fine.
All right, if you missed the first game and you're just joining us for this contest between the Titans and the Bulldogs, the field conditions, yes, it's very snowy out there, but really the footing is quite good.
Footing's excellent. They shouldn't have any problem with that. Even with the wind the way it is, I don't think it should affect the passing game except on deep balls if you got to put a fair amount of air under it. Anything in the intermediate range should be fine.
Wind is coming out of the northeast, but just looking at some of the flags here, it doesn't look to be quite as strong as it was in that earlier game, which definitely had an effect on the passing and the kicking game.
It did, and we suspect in this game it'll probably be a little better for the players. It has dropped considerably.
Brock Ralph is the head coach of the Harry Ainlay Titans, and for those Edmonton Eskimo fans out there, you'll recall his years with Edmonton, and I think he played in Winnipeg as well, and certainly has a wealth of CFL experience under his belt, and it's certainly shown in the performance of his football team.
There's no doubt about that, and also for this game in this field, he knows the field. He knows the wind conditions here. He has prepared his players for what they have to do out here. Chad Hill, on the other hand, he's built a wonderful program at Bellerose, doesn't have as many players, has more going two ways. Just done an excellent job with these young men, but they are in very tough because Harry Ainlay is loaded with talent, both on both fronts as well as in their skilled positions.
Let's get back to Brock Ralph and his playing days here in Edmonton. How much is that of a factor trying to tell his young players exactly what it's like out here?
I don't know how much that affects. I think it does to a degree. They're certainly going to listen to him because they understand that he played here, and they're going to respect what he says. But until you come out and do it, until you come out and play in these conditions and with the wind swirling, until you've played here, you really don't know it.
and they're about to find out.
They are so.
We're ready to get this game underway. The Titans will be kicking off from their own 45-yard line, and out there to do the honors is number 9, Sony Bermudez Chavez. He gets a good kick all the way down to about the 15-yard line, up to the 25, to the 30, and taken down just over the 30 is number 7, Logan Mccullough.
Very good tackle, and the wedge got up a little bit ahead of the ball carrier on that, a little bit early, and they were able to string around. You'll see the wedge come in here. There's the wedge up front. Here comes the ball carrier. It's quite a bit behind him, and by the time he gets up, it's broken down. They should have dropped that wedge back a little deeper and then brought him upfield. We
should let you know that we'll be guessing a lot as far as the position of the ball in the field, because we can't see the numbers from up here, and so we're just kind of counting in from the goal line and from the 55-yard line. There's the handoff to the right side, and a short gain on the play. The ball taken there by Kyle Phillips.
And again, quick pressure by the Harry Ainlay Titans. Their defense is very aggressive. They like to come off the field. The middle linebacker, Harvey Kumbai, in on that tackle, and the grade 12 middle linebacker really read that quickly, made the tackle in the backfield.
Cordell Callieu is the starting quarterback for the Bellerose Bulldogs. He's back in the pocket, looks downfield, gets a good pass away. It is complete at the 50-yard line. No, they're saying it's incomplete. The ball bounced out of the receiver's hands just as he hit the ground. He just couldn't quite squeeze it.
He's probably, again, a little cold. You watch it, the defender fell down, and when he came down, the ball just slipped out of his hands. Now, he's a pretty good receiver. He's done a good job all year for Bellerose.
Travis Haggart, number 86 for the Bellerose Bulldogs. Tall, rangy receiver, too.
And they've had a few of those. You see a number of them are playing for the Huskies now, and they've got very good receivers there, a good passing game.
So it's a 2-and-out for the Bulldogs. A low driving kick that'll come down to about the 40-yard line. That comes loose. It's recovered by the Bulldogs. Johnny on the spot to pick up that one was number 7. Logan McCullough.
Now on this, you notice that the receiver, he lost his footing a little bit, didn't get a grip on the ball, and this shows what hustle down the field does. Number 7 was hustling. He had a couple of other guys with him. Now here it goes. You see him, and he misjudged the ball and couldn't get down on it. He should have just dropped on the ball. But you learn that in these conditions.
Ball on the 46-yard line. First down for the Bellerose Bulldogs. 4 in the backfield. Second man through is McCullough. McCullough has room on the outside, gets around one tackler, and is taken down heavily just over the 35-yard line. Good job of running by McCullough.
Very good job of running, and we look at it on the replay. He gets outside, good job sealing, and now he turns up and he unloads on number 4, who I believe is a corner, Josh Hoyt, on that far side. A very aggressive run.
They go with a full house backfield once again. 2 receivers to each side. Second man through again, handoff left side. And enough for the first down. The ball taken by number 29, Colby Phillips. It is 29. A lot of these players, of course, will go both ways. Colby Phillips also a defensive back.
Yeah, and when you look at it, he just really blasted through there and well blocked. You know, Bellerose is firing off. Their package is going to be a little different because they have their backup quarterback in. Little counter trap there.
And again, handoff left side. And again, taken by Ben Van Leeuwen.
Yeah, and if you look on the tackle of that, again, it's the middle linebacker from Harry Ainlay and Harvey Kumbai, and he's a good football player. He stays at his position and he tackles well.
So the gain is 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Almost inside the red zone for the Bulldogs. And again, that full house backfield. Now motion goes left. And the handoff, first man through this time. And a short gain of maybe a yard or 2 on the play. The defense in there stopping that one very quickly.
Very much so, and on that case, you watch it on the replay, the inside just caved everything down. And it looked to me like they ran a little stunt there. Very, very effective.
I think this is the first time you and I have seen this full house backfield situation. That's usually just a single setback in junior football and in the game earlier today, but now all the motion goes to the right, and Callue will move that way. The pass is knocked down, and stretching out to knock that one to the ground was number 3, James Thompson-Dick.
Did a good job on that, and the quarterback, of course, you're talking a young quarterback here. He tried to get outside. He had a receiver out there, but he couldn't get it over the defender. And you notice who was right with the defender there was the middle linebacker. He stretched it out very quickly.
So that'll be a turnover on downs. And the Harry Ainlay Titans get the football back, and this will be their first offensive series of this game. There's the handoff, left side, read nicely, but a good job of running by number 23, Emmanuel Logali. And Logali takes off for a gain of close to 5 or 6 yards on the play. He was actually stopped behind the line of scrimmage, but kept going.
He had him in just the wrong angle there by 35. If he had dove at the legs, he might have had him. But reaching and grabbing, Logali's got some strength on him, and he just broke the tackle.
So it'll be second and we'll call it 5.5 yards. 6:49 to go in the first quarter of this CARR Conference final here at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. Typical November evening. Temperature -11, wind chill about -17. Just good football weather. There's the handoff, a little bit of a mix-up in the backfield, but finally taken down again was number 23, Emmanuel Logali, or make that 22, sorry, Jonathan Rosary. And there's a man that we have to watch.
Well, if you look, he went left and then he cut back. He didn't see anything, and they defended it very well. Bellerose, outside linebacker, stayed at home and was able to make the tackle.
2 and out for the Harry Ainlay Titans. So they will be kicking this one away from about their own 30-yard line. Back there to await the punt is Logan Mccullough. And they kick it to the other side of the field. Good kick down to about the 45-yard line. Taken there by Cordell Callue. And the young quarterback carries it back about maybe 6 or 7 yards or so, in good field position for the Bulldogs.
Good field position, was not an overly long punt, but he played it well and got up the field with it, got the yardage he could.
This youngster, Cordell Callue, I shouldn't say a youngster, he's in grade 12. This is his last year of eligibility in high school football. But he does it all. He's a wide receiver, he's a defensive back, and he also is out there returning punts.
One thing at Bellerose, their players play a myriad of positions. And Chad Hill does a good job in the developing of players so they can play a myriad of positions. They have a small roster.
Full house backfield. Back in the pocket. Callue being rushed. Gets away from one tackler, now takes off with it. Heads to the sidelines and is pulled down from behind after a gain of perhaps 4 or 5 yards on the play. Awfully close to a horse collar tackle, but no call on the play.
Just about. It looked to me like when they catch him, he's down on the numbers when he catches here, just above the numbers, and he let go right away. So if he'd have stayed on that, he probably would have got the call.
All right, gain of 5, so it'll be 2nd and 5. Ball on about the 42-yard line. 4:55 to go in the first quarter. There's the handoff up the middle. Some running room again for Van Leeuwen. And Van Leeuwen needed to get to around the 42-yard line, and he's going to be a little short of that by about maybe 3 yards.
He is definitely short, and 2 to 3 yards, it's going to be interesting what they do. Now, last time,
That's a gain of 2 yards.
they did not punt. They went for it. But here, I think they might punt. We'll see. We'll see who the injured ball player is here. They really cannot afford more injuries on this Bellerose team. They got enough young men going 2 ways as it is.
Interesting looking at the rosters of both these teams. Actually, both of them have a lot of graduating players after this season, so it's going to be a rebuilding year even for the Harry Ainlay Titans.
That's right, and Harry Ainlay, of course, they've got pretty solid junior program as well as their senior program. So, you know, they just kind of refuel. they're
Next man up.
Next man up and cut her loose. So, you know, they're well coached and they do a good job recruiting. They recruit all over the place to get players. And when you look at it, they've got a lot of very, very good ball players and a lot of good young ball players.
Jacob Perron, the injured Bulldog, and he is favoring his right ankle. They'll take him to the bench and have a look at him. Here's Calliew with it. Now he'll take off again. Calliew over the 35-yard line, and a gain of about maybe 5 yards on the play, and it will be enough for the first down.
First down yardage. The ball came
He looked off a couple of receivers before he took off with it. I'm not sure if that was a planned play or just good coverage by the Titans.
I'm not sure on that either. It looks to me like he wanted to go to a swing, and they had it covered.
They had it covered
good. So he just took off and ran the ball, which was probably the right thing to do, and I'm sure they got that built into their playbook because, again, he's going to be limited in what he's running as compared to their first-string quarterback. They miss Quaid a lot out here. You could tackle this young man a little easier than you could tackle Quaid.
Play action in the middle, has a man open. It is knocked down just at the last minute, and a great defensive job by number 4 for the Harry Ainlay Titans, Josh Hoyt, from his cornerback position.
Did a good job on this. Now, the ball's hung up a little bit, and again, if you look, he overstrode the ball a little bit, threw it up, and it caught in the wind. And when you got these types of conditions, as we talked about earlier, you want to have more of your passes on a line. You got to get them down in there. And they probably should have released the ball a little earlier.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. 3:09 to go here in this first quarter. No score between the Harry Ainlay Titans and the Bellerose Bulldogs. The pass incomplete, intended in the middle for number 7, Logan Mccullough, but it was underthrown, and a good job by his opposite number, Dustin Ellis, to knock that down. I don't think he was quite ready for it if we take a look at that.
Well, he let the ball go earlier than he wanted to. It's a blitz coming, and Ainlay did a good job. They brought the Mac, I believe the Sam also, and they just got enough pressure on him. He let the ball go before he wanted to.
Well, Cordell Calliew certainly isn't showing any sign of nerves or anything like that.
No,
I mean, he's only thrown, I think, 2 passes all season long. He completed one of them for a touchdown, I might add.
Yeah.
There's the punt. It's an end-over-end kick. It'll come down to about the 15-yard line, and it is taken by number 23 for the Titans, Emmanuel Logali, and he goes nowhere, maybe even lost a yard or so on that return.
Good coverage, and one of those punts that just kind of hung and then dropped, and you watch on this. Now when he catches the ball, there he goes. Now you had pressure right away, and outside contain was there, so he didn't have a lot of room to go. It's a good place to punt the ball outside of the numbers to the sideline.
All right, there was a gain of about a yard on the play, so it'll be first down for the Harry Ainlay Titans. The ball is on their own 15-yard line. There's the handoff left side, taken there by number 21, Jackson Hume, and Hume
He's gone.
Will go all the way. Jackson Hume from the 15-yard line all the way into the end zone.
Now this is what we talked about earlier in regard to the Harry Ainlay speed. They've got it all over the field. And here it is, it's kind of fly action. Was really well blocked by the wide receivers and then by the inside receivers downfield to open it up for him. And then it was just a foot race, and it was no race.
Good job of fooling the defenders too by Eli Hettinger. It was the handoff was to the first man through, but he faked and did a good job.
And that's the key on these of following through with your fakes.
Yeah.
A lot of young quarterbacks, what they will do is they will not follow through with their fakes. They'll hand off to who they're going to, and then they watch. They become observers. Real good quarterbacks are going to follow through with their fakes on every play.
So with 1:57 to go in the first quarter, the Harry Ainlay Titans, with the wind at their backs, come up with a 7-0 lead over the Bulldogs from Bellerose. And again, take a look at that, the speed of Jackson Hume. Got good running form too.
Well, he does, and you look at the wide receiver, he's got great speed. 22, Rosary's got excellent speed. They've got it all over the field. Their defensive line and their offensive line has pretty good speed too for linemen, so it's very difficult to deal with that.
All right, from the 45-yard line, Titans kicking off after that touchdown run by Jackson Hume. Good kick all the way down to about the 15-yard line. It'll be taken there by number 2, Cordell Caliu. He finds some room up the middle and taken down at about the 40-yard line. Actually, that was number 7, Logan Mccullough, with the football.
Now again, if you notice with McCullough on this one compared to the first one, his wedge got back by him and he was tight to them coming up, and he was able to get a much better return.
Good run back of about 25 yards.
That's
good
right.
Field position, ball at about the 40-yard line.
Pops through, does a real good job.
And carried a couple of players with him for an extra couple yards or so.
The one thing you'll find with Bellerose, there's never any quit in this team. They're a well-coached ball club. They come off hard and they play hard all the time. Are they outmanned? Yes, definitely. By size and I think by experience too.
Well, the one thing that you and I both noticed over the season doing the Huskies and the Wildcats games, a lot of players have graduated out of this Bulldogs program up into junior football, as well as in the university ranks.
Yeah, and then again, it's a tremendous tribute to the program they have at Bellerose.
Full house backfield. Caliu loses the fumble, and it is alertly recovered by one of the running backs back there, and I believe that was number 20, Brett Yost, pouncing on the football as it went just under the legs of Caliu.
And there's a situation, not used to the snaps, cold, so you have a problem. What's what happened? You lose the down, now you're punting the ball away to a team that just scored.
The loss is a yard on the play. And back there to do the punting will be Ben Van Leeuwen. Van Leeuwen takes the high snap and gets a good kick away. It'll bounce forward, a Bellerose bounce, and it comes loose once again. And the ball is recovered by the Bulldogs, but there is going to be a no yards penalty, which I believe will negate that fumble.
I think it will. Now, this is going to be questioned whether that is no yards because he bobbled the ball. Now, we'll just watch it here, see if he's within the 5 yards on the bobble. There, he touches the ball.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
that's the right call. And, so that's going to be, they just do the 5 yard penalty because of bounce. So that's not bad for Bellerose. Now, Harry Ainlay has run one wide for a touchdown. I would expect you watch what they do with the Rosary now. They're going to try to get him sprung here pretty quick. Or a deep ball to Ajo.
Ball is on the 45-yard line. First down for the Titans. There's the pass into the middle. And wide open. Heading down to the 15, the 20, the 10, the 5, and in for the touchdown, number 23, Emmanuel Logali.
There again, you run a diagonal route. Cross, clear, run that diagonal. A very good ball, put right where it had to be. Hitched out to Aho on this side. Cleared, and you'll see it here. He just hitches. There's the diagonal. Cleared up on the inside, and then just speed. And again, another touchdown.
And actually, there was another receiver open just behind him as well. So it could have gone to either one of them.
Yeah. But again, a well-designed play, well-executed play.
Emmanuel Logali with the touchdown, and of course that name familiar to a lot of junior football fans. Daniel Logali plays for the Huskies.
Played for the Huskies.
Played for the Huskies.
Now I forget where he's playing, what school he's playing at, but he's playing CIS football now.
All right, and so with 1:58, well, actually that's the end of the first quarter of play, and it is the Harry Ainlay Titans over the Bellerose Bulldogs by a score of 14-0. The Titans had to be a team really favored in this football game. There's no question about that. So really no surprise at this point for you, 14-0?
Not a surprise at all. Bellerose, as we said, with that injury to their starting quarterback who also played defense, understaffed, undermanned. And the speed, the team speed of Harry Ainlay. Chad Hill knows all about that speed, and he knew they were going to have to play exceptional football to keep them off the scoreboard. Very difficult to do. They've got so many weapons offensively. You haven't even seen Rosary break one out yet, and you will see him, and you haven't seen Owl break one out yet. They're going to be going to him. So, Bellerose is going to do their best to stop him. Their problem is offensively, can they move the ball? And they did a little bit, but then how did they really get the ball? A fumble by Harry Ainlay, right? They got the ball. Other than that, they haven't been able to move the ball real well.
Well, you talk about the injured quarterback for Bellerose, Quade Kozak. Not only a great quarterback, excellent completion average of 108 out of 171 attempts for 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns, 84 carries, 520 yards, 4 touchdowns on the ground, and he's the punter.
Absolutely. And he can play almost any position. He could play fullback. He could play on the line. He's a tremendous athlete, good size. So when you lose him, you're losing not just a normal quarterback. You're losing the guy who is probably your best running back also. And with his size and speed, very hard to bring him down. So it is a big blow to Bellerose. But like I say, there will be no quit at them. They're going to come out and play hard because that's what they do.
The Titans getting ready to kick this one off, leading by a score of 14-0 to start the second quarter of football. And another really good crowd on hand for this game. A lot of hardy fans out there from Edmonton and St. Albert cheering on their favorite football teams. And off that kickoff, ball is brought up to about the 40-yard line.
Again, pretty good return. The wedge set up, he was pretty good, but the wedge didn't stay on their blocks. And when that happens, you're going to have a man break free, and that's what happened. He would have had another 10, 15 yards otherwise.
Okay, on the count back from the center field stripe, it's the 35-yard line where the ball is. So it'll be first down from that point for the Bellerose Bulldogs. Now they come out of there with a new offensive alignment, single setback in the handoff, taken again by number 29, Ben Van Leeuwen. And Van Leeuwen plows ahead for a gain of perhaps 3 yards on the play. So they go from that full house offense to just a single setback and maybe looking for something different, a different look for the Bulldogs.
Well, also that if you take a look at it, they're running away from 99. They don't want to run to his side. He's a tremendous defensive end. He can beat blocks. He can beat on speed, on pass plays.
There's the pass. It is complete at the 40-yard line. Good job of passing, good job of catching by number 7, Logan Mccullough.
He's having a good game, that young Logan Mccullough, isn't he? Well-executed play, very nice pass, and tremendous concentration here on the play action by Logan Mccullough. He had a defender right with him, and he did a good job.
You mentioned 99, Loal Uguak. He is dangerous. 8 sacks over the season for this young man. There's Cordell Caliu with it again, and he just keeps going and actually ends up with a gain of about 11 yards on the play and enough for the first down.
Again, running away from 99. And I think you're going to see more of that. They'll keep going away from him. They don't want to get on his side. And I suspect you're going to see him flip over here.
He is now flipped over to the other side.
The other side. Now they'll come this side. He plays what we call the boundary end, or some people call a quick end. And so now they'll probably go this way.
Out of the shotgun. Caliu has a man open at the 10 to the 5 and tackled at about the 4-yard line. And again, Logan Mccullough with another great catch and in behind defenders.
Real nice route by McCullough, and Kelly just put the ball right where it had to be. Very nice ball. There it goes. Got a little air under it, put it down. He never broke stride. Coverage wasn't that bad.
Using the wind to his advantage in that one, there's no question about it. 2-point conversion attempt into the end zone, incomplete. And the defender all over the receiver. The receiver, in fact, looking for a call, but he's not going to get it. Good job coming from behind was number 24, Coffee Assuming.
Remember, that's first down play. That wasn't wouldn't have a touchdown.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So they got a second play coming here. But again, they're on this side, and
there's the handoff, and stopped. Touchdown!
That was a real nice surge by the left side of Bellerose's offensive line. And I think it a tribute to him. You look at that pop, and he is able to take it in, break the plane for the touchdown.
Ben Van Leeuwen with the 3-yard run for the touchdown. And now the point after, but it's only going to be a single attempt.
Yeah.
There it is.
And that makes
the ball
sense.
is up, and it's through the uprights.
That makes sense. Just a really well executed drive by Bellerose, as we talked about earlier. They're not going to lay down for anybody. And that's who they are. That's how they play. They're a very physical team. They like to play hard. They play with quickness, although they don't have the team speed that Harry Ainlay has. They do play with quickness, and there is no quitting.
Well, when I talked to Chad Hill about that, he was very adamant with the fact that, yeah, we know that they're a fast team. We know that they're a big team, probably the best team he's ever coached against.
Yeah.
But we also have the quicks.
Yep. And their coaches are very positive about what they do. And therefore, as you watch them as they go through a season, they get better and better all season. And that's why they're here now.
There's a short kick and a bouncer, but it is recovered successfully by the Harry Ainlay Titans, and as a result, they're going to have some great field position at about the Bellerose 51-yard line.
Now, this is one thing. Bellerose does a lot of short kicks, and they're good at it. Squibbit. Harry Ainlay knows that. They defended that well. They had their backup man come to take it, but the up men, they attacked and blocked the people coming downfield to allow them to do it. Gives them real good field position.
Eli Hettinger at quarterback for the Harry Ainlay Titans. Grade 10. He's really set this league on fire this season. And a lot of talk about him in the media. And now he'll take off with it and then just decides to slide and will actually lose maybe a couple yards on the play. But there is a flag on this side of the field.
Be interesting to see what the flag is. Very good coverage by Bellerose on this play. He had nobody open. And they were going deep, and they just dropped off. They were right with people all the way down. He had nobody to go to.
Offside is going to be the call against the Harry Ainlay Titans. And, we haven't mentioned this, but this is the same refereeing crew that was in the first game this evening. And they're putting up with the cold a lot longer and a lot more than anybody else in the stadium.
There's a couple of new guys out there, but yeah, it's I don't know how they do it. it's cold. But again here, decline the penalty because they've got them in second and long, second and about 12. Now, let's see what Harry Ainlay does again. Will they go back to that diagonal route?
All right, 3 flankers to this side. There's Ettinger back in the pocket. He throws complete on the far side to Brett Muth. And Muth is run out of bounds, but I think he's going to be short of the first down by a good 3 yards anyway.
He is short. I suspect Ainlay will go for it. Now, interesting enough, Bellerose is playing his own defense. They drop people into the flats, and the man who should play that has got to be the halfback coming down to it. He had depth, so the linebacker tried to get out to it and couldn't do it. This is a good pattern to do against zone defenses. You get 6, 7, 8 yards. Now you come out and they can run or pass on this.
All right, motion goes to the far side. Single setback, back in the pocket. Hedinger looking downfield. He's being hurt, and he is tackled from behind.
Horse collar.
But there's going to be a horse collar tackle.
That's a big mistake. He had him, but reached. You got to reach low on him if you're doing that. And inexperienced players, they tend to get high. And if you look at Hedinger here, I'll bet he ducks at the end. There he goes. He ducks it. He comes right onto that pad, takes it. Definitely the legitimate call. It definitely was a horse collar. The Bellerose fans do not like the call.
They are right below us here, and there's a good contingent representing both teams here tonight. And of course, they're Edmonton football fans. So,
Absolutely.
Hey, this kind of weather doesn't affect them.
No, they're passionate about the game, and their kids are playing, their relatives, boyfriends are playing, so they're all out here having a good time.
Three flankers to this side. Short drop pass, incomplete. Into the middle, intended there for Aju.
Again, they ran that, and usually they like to run him up the field a lot. I suspect you're going to see a little bit of a slant, then go up the field with him a little bit down the road. Very well covered. I believe that was the corner that dropped in with him on it and made a very good play on it.
6:50 to go here in the second quarter. 14-7 in favor of the Harry Ainlay Titans. First and 10 for the second and 10 rather for the Titans on about the 30-yard line. There's the handoff and caught from behind on a nice job by the two-way guy Ben Van Leeuwen to limit that gain to about maybe 3 yards or so.
He's all over the field, isn't he? He's good football player, offensive, defensively. He's running back. And this is the thing with Bellerose. They'll have a number of players going two ways.
So it'll be third and long. And are they going to go for it? Yes, they will. Third and about 7. Harry Ainlay going for it. Back in the pocket. Fakes once, pass into the end zone. It is complete, touchdown.
That's that's what they like to do.
Ajo.
But again, they were in position to make the play on that ball and didn't make it. He focused on the ball and focused it all the way in for the touchdown. Now again, they show the replay here. Pass all the way. You just see that. It went right through 10's hands.
And also in on the coverage was the quarterback playing defensive back, Cordell Callieu.
That's right. And, again, good football player playing two ways.
Here's the point after. It is up and it is good. No, it is wide.
And the point after, no good. 5:48.
And so with 5:48 to go in this second quarter, it is the Harry Ainlay Titans leading the Bellerose Bulldogs by a score of 20-7. If you just joined us, my name is Dave Rozak, along with John Belmont, the coach, and we are bringing you live coverage on ICU video of the CARR Conference Final in the Edmonton Metro Athletics Football Association Conference. Everything.
That's good.
We've been doing too much football today, JB.
Yeah, it's interesting. You look at these different conferences, and Al Carr was a football coach. I believe he was O'Leary High School, coach for years, and passed away too young, I believe, from cancer. And the conference is named after him. He was a very good football coach.
And of course, the Miles conference game earlier, and that named after the great Edmonton Eskimo, Rolly Miles.
And of course, Rolly was not only the great football player of the Eskimos, but he was also the superintendent of physical education for Edmonton Separate Schools. Many, many years.
Logan Mccullough with the kickoff.
So off the kickoff, the ball is placed down at about the 35-yard line, and once again, the Bellerose Bulldogs will take it over with 5:35 to go in the half.
And again, now they're probably going to air the ball out again, I would think now.
Cordell Callieu out of the shotgun. Looking deep, now gets away from one tackler, gets away from another, and is finally hauled down for a loss of about maybe 5 or 6 yards on the play. And a good job of coverage downfield by the Harry Ainlay defensive backfield.
Good job of coverage and also good pressure by the front of Harry Ainlay. They really put pressure on him. And now he's dinged a little bit.
And I'm not sure that they, well, at least on their roster, they do not have a third string quarterback.
Well, number 17 they've got down as their backup. So, you know,
that's Corey Hannum, who's also a wide receiver.
Yeah, and you know, this will be interesting to see what happens here. See who this is that's injured. I believe it is a quarterback. I could be wrong. Yeah, because he's taking snaps now on the sideline. Corey Hannum is, so it's pretty bad when you're getting down to your third string quarterback and you've got over a half a football to play.
In a championship game. This is not looking good for Cordell Caillou.
No. But again, going back, when you go back to the touchdown pass, that was a third down play.
Ooh.
And
he's favoring his right leg.
He's favoring the right leg pretty good. So
that's number 2, Cordell Caillou for the Bulldogs, shaken up on that last play and getting some assistance off the field.
And he looks like he's in a great deal of distress. Yeah. So Corey Hannum.
Here he is, his starting quarterback and your starting corner. So now it's 2 positions you got to
and a punt returner.
And a punt returner.
Corey Hannum, for all intents and purposes, the backup to the backup. In there at quarterback, number 17.
15 Bulldogs at their own 30.
So the ball on the 30-yard line, it's 2nd and 15. Hannum takes the snap, hands it off. Trying to find a hole in the middle is number 29 again, Ben Van Leeuwen, and Van Leeuwen is stopped after a gain of maybe a yard or 2 on the play. I don't think Harry Ainlay was looking at anything other than a straight handoff to someone like Van Leeuwen.
I agree. They brought their people up. They had the linebackers playing tight, and you watch how quick they filled.
All right, so he actually loses.
Very fast.
So he gains about maybe 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd, and we'll call it 11.
It'll be 3rd, Dave.
Or 3rd and 11, rather.
They'll be punting.
And so they'll be punting this one away. So a lot of pressure on young Mr. Hannum, a grade 11 student from Bellerose High. There's the snap, and it's a short kick coming down into the bench area of the Harry Ainlay Titans, and they are going to have excellent field position just there, just on the other side of Paul Kane territory.
And again, it's like you say, a short punt, and only about a 15-yard punt. Mm-hmm. And Harry Ainlay's in very good field position here.
So the ball in Bellerose territory at, we'll call it the 52-yard line. And good field position for the Titans, who lead this one by a score of 20-7. They'll send 3 flankers out to the far side, and there is a timeout being called by the Bellerose Bulldogs. And this may be nothing more than to give Corey Hannum a chance to learn a few things, talk to the coaching staff, give him some more time to adjust to his new role.
I think they might have to make an adjustment on their defense because one of their starting corners is out with Caillou going out of the game, and he's a very good defensive back. So what are they going to do now? Are they going to go straight zone, which they have run a fair amount? Are you going to go into man coverage? It's going to determine how you play certain people. And it's a difficult situation, but I will guarantee you that the coaches down there will be very positive with them and just get out and play.
And going man-to-man, defense on this Harry Ainlay team is not an easy task with the speed that they have.
No, it isn't, and you have to have your techniques down well. You don't have to be as fast as them, but you better have your techniques down really well and be able to get some pressure on the quarterback.
3 flankers to this side. Everybody heading downfield. Short drop pass. It is just short. and intended out there for number 23, Emmanuel Logali.
Now, interesting enough, that looked like a diagonal coming back again across the grain. But on the other side, they had a weak halfback blitz on that. And because of that blitz, if you watch it here it comes off that side, and the other side was wide open. They had a receiver, but they're going to that diagonal.
So 2nd and 10. Ball on the 52-yard line. Motion comes to this side. There's the handoff right side, taken by number 22, Jonathan Rosary. And we finally get a chance to see Rosary with the football. And he lives up to his promise with a gain of close to 20 yards on the play and a first down.
Little counter type action, and you watch how he comes in there. He runs, he's fast, number one, but he's also powerful. And he ran with a lot of power in that play. Here it is there. There's that little counter action. It's like a zone, and you see him keep driving, and that's just good power running.
Ball at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Harry Ainlay threatening again. With 3:23 to go here in this first half, there's the handoff right side to Rosary, and he is piled up maybe to the line of scrimmage with nothing much more than that.
Very, very good job in there, again by Wilkie, the Will linebacker. And, you know, the front, they play hard. They're quick, and that's one place that they can beat Harry Ainlay, right up in front with their quickness. But if you allow Ainlay to get on them, then it makes it tough. But they're doing a good job on those inside plays.
All right, a gain of about a yard on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 9. Single setback for the Titans. 3 flankers to this side. There's the handoff. Taking off the left side is Rosary. Rosary's got some room, and he's tackled, but not before he picks up close to 12 yards on the play and a first down.
And well blocked on the inside, David. You watch here, they show the replay. They come off of this, and a little bit of a counter action again. Blocked well there. Look at the blocking on the outside. And just staying on blocks and keeping running, and that allows him to get up the field. Good speed again and good power.
Gain of 12, ball now on the 23-yard line. Or make that 5, 10, we'll call it the 12-yard line. Again, we're counting in from the goal line.
I think it's about the 16-yard line.
Yeah, it could be 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. I'm going to say you're wrong. It's a 17.
Okay, there you go.
There's the handoff mix up in the backfield. Rosary has it, and he cuts to the middle, still going, and breaks one tackle in for the touchdown. Jonathan Rosary.
That was a very good run by him. He bounces outside, then turned it upfield. You see it on the replay. You'll see an individual have a line on it. I don't know who it is. There he goes, right there. And didn't get it. So what does he do? He gets upfield and then just keeps bouncing outside. There's that good balance and the power he has.
Well, coming into this game, he had 7 touchdowns during the regular season. Adds one more to that tonight. And with a pretty good 42 carries for the season and something like 568 yards. So he's certainly someone that, again, the junior coaches will be looking at, the university coaches will be looking at. He's probably got a pretty good future if he wants to stay.
My understanding is that he is signed with the University of Alberta. I don't know if that is true or not, but that is my understanding.
And according to our producer, you're right on.
There you go. Maybe that's where I heard it from, was the producer.
Okay, well, he's probably spreading rumors again.
That's why they call them producers, isn't it?
There you go. Okay. If you can't have fun with the boss, who can you have fun with?
No, that's right. That's right.
All right. Titans kicking again. End over end, down to about the 25-yard line, taken there by McCullough. McCullough bounces into one of his own blockers, bounces off, and gets another 5 yards. And they'll carry it up to the 35-yard line, and it'll be first down for the Bellerose Bulldogs, who've spent a lot of time starting out each series from about the 35.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you look here now, here they are in a situation where you're on your 3rd-string quarterback.
Yeah.
And we don't know how this young man passes or anything, and they're going to be running the ball 90% of the time. We'll see what Harry Ainlay does on this. I expect they're going to expect to run right off the bat, and they will probably bring their linebackers pretty tight.
Well, again, the Bulldogs are calling a timeout to discuss things and again give their quarterback, their third-string quarterback, Corey Hannum, some instructions and exactly what they need him to do or want him to do.
Help him out with the play, and there's only a couple of minutes left in the half, so they've used their 2 timeouts now, and they got 2 left for the second half. But it's a tough situation they're in.
27-7 is the score, with 2:04 left in this first half. Corey Hannum, third-string quarterback for the Bulldogs, gets the snap. Looks downfield, passes. It is almost picked off at the line of scrimmage. And I believe going up for it was number 66, Clarence Romangera.
There's a situation where you pretty well have to cut block. That was 99. Yeah.
All right, that was just the opposite.
He's a very good football player, but the only way you can take him, you got to cut block him on those short passes out there. If you don't, with his height and athleticism, he will knock it down more times than not.
2nd and 10. There's the pass. It is into the middle and it's going to be picked off by the Titans, and taking it is number 7, Dustin Ellis. And Ellis is stopped after a run back of about 10 yards. And again, the Titans will take over the football on a turnover.
Dustin Ellis, normally a defensive halfback. They might have gone cover 2 on that, I'm not sure, but he was in the perfect position to make the play. And again, you've got an inexperienced quarterback threw into coverage.
It looks like it actually went out of the hands of one of his teammates and right into his.
And it could have been Rosary, because Rosary's a starting safety for Harry Ainlay, number 22.
Rosary now in there at halfback. And there's the pass. It is going to be short to the sidelines and intended out there for number 11, Brett Muth. Brett Muth, one of the slot backs and also a defensive lineman.
Now there's a situation where if you look at the ball, he's moving forward on it. He threw the ball, and I think his hand is getting cold. The ball is cold, and he just held onto the ball too long and put it in the dirt or the ice.
Back in the pocket now, looking downfield. Pass, it is complete on the far side to Dustin Ellis. Or make that, I'm sorry, number 1, Ajo.
Now, the thing there is, again, excellent concentration by this young man. That ball was passed well, but look at the defender. He's coming right down over top of that, and excellent concentration by the receiver. Good catch, first down.
That's a 1st and 10, Harry Ainlay at the Bulldogs, 37-yard line.
Ball on the 37, 1st and 10. Titans once again knocking on the doorstep with 1:22 to go. There's the handoff. Second man through is Rosary. Gets around one tackler and is finally hauled down from behind at about the 20-yard line. But again, he picks up a pretty good gain of around 15, 16 yards.
And again, if you watch it on the replay, he gets off the ball well. Here he comes up the field. And
should have been stopped there.
And there's the balance, and the power that he has.
18 yards for Rosary and a 1st down for Harry Ainlay. Now at the Bulldogs 19.
Ball now on the 19-yard line inside the red zone for the Harry Ainlay Titans. Down to the final minute of play in the first half. Handoff, Rosary left side, finds a hole down to the 5-yard line. And another gain of close to 15 yards, and another first down.
They're just running these now like stretch plays. It's Bellerose's front is tired, and you can tell they're not getting off the ball, and Harry Ainlay's getting into them really well, opening these big holes.
Well, the defense has been on the field a lot, and when you think that a lot of these players also play offense, they're going to be tired.
They are. And you get worn down by an athletic team like this.
Twin setbacks, handoff, Rosary, left side, hold, touchdown. Jonathan Rosary with his second touchdown of the football game, and really untouched.
Untouched, Dave. You and I could have run through that hole.
Well, I'm not sure about you, but I know I could.
We could have. Yeah, we could have. Shoulder to shoulder, we could have got through it. That's the size of the hole that was in there. And, that's just the nature of it. Like we said, Bellerose is tired. They're very fatigued out there. They've been on the field a lot, and a lot of their young men on that front are going two ways.
I know we talked about it before the football game. We were afraid something like this might happen, that it might be a blowout. Granted, we have a full half to go of football, but at 33-7 in these kind of conditions, it's going to be a tough row to hoe for this Bellerose team.
It's hard, too, from the point of view that with your third-string quarterback, a young man who is probably, I doubt if he's taken 15 snaps all year.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, he's put into it in a championship game, and yeah, he's going to do the best that he can. But if you look at the difference between he and Callie was putting the ball on the money in his passing game, and that would enable them to drive the field and score the touchdown they got. Now all of a sudden, it's 2 and out. And now the defense is on the field for drives, and that's very, very tiring for defensive fronts.
All right, and again, the Harry Ainlay Titans kicking off from their own 45-yard line. Another good kick down to around the 25, up to the 30. Just shy of the 35, and tackled at around the 34-yard line.
One thing I noticed there with that wedge on the kickoff return, they didn't explode into their blocks like they did earlier. And again, you're talking young men, they're getting fatigued out there. And so now they've got to dig down deep inside of themselves and just pick up what they're doing.
So Ben Van Leeuwen on the run back. They'll mark the ball at about the 34-yard line. There's the handoff taken by, again, number 29, Ben Van Leeuwen. And Van Leeuwen plows ahead for a gain of maybe 3 yards on the play. And we have another injured.
And it is Ben Van Leeuwen who's hurt, but I think he might be more fatigued than anything else. I mean, he's playing two ways. Hasn't been off the field. He's on the return teams. Looks like he's got a leg problem.
Is it Van Leeuwen?
Is that 29?
29 or 89? No, there's no 89 out there, or 99. Big offensive lineman. They're taking a look at it again, as you said, his leg. And you look down at that bench on this side of the field, and I can count probably on two hands the number of players that are still left down there.
Well, that's exactly right.
Not quite that bad, but pretty close.
Yeah.
Going to be a tough day for Chad Hill
it is.
And his charges.
You lose starting players like this, and it affects you, and it takes the steam out of your ball club. It looks to me like
it's one of their big linemen. Jacob Parent.
Okay, so
number 99.
99. Now he was hurt earlier in the game too, so it might be the same injury. He might be able to get back in. He's their left guard, and he's a pretty good ball player. He's certainly feeling it.
And I see that, my goodness, they've brought out the plows for the second half of the second game. We'll see whether they actually do some work on the field here. Corey Hannum at quarterback. Single setback, three flankers to this side. Back in the pocket now, rolling to this side. The screen pass, it is complete, but the ball is fumbled, and the Titans have recovered. The pass to number 20, Brett Yost, but he was unable to hold on to that screen pass, and
it goes from bad to worse.
Yeah,
for
Titans
Bellerose.
recover. In there, Johnny on the spot was Michael Spaulding.
I'm not sure that was a complete pass looking at it. It looked to me like he never had control of the ball.
A fumble recovery for Harry Ainlay.
Well, for the officials, that's hard to see with a number of people out there. And,
1st and 10.
you know, when you look at it on the replay, it didn't look like he had control of it. The Ainlay player had his hand in there the whole time pulling on it. So.
Down to the final 15 seconds of the first half.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they try to go to Aho deep on this.
Into the middle pass, it is behind the receiver, couldn't hold on, and wide open in the middle was again number 23, Emmanuel Logali, and if he catches that one, I think he's got 6.
That was the same diagonal he scored on earlier. It's exactly the same play. They went back to it, threw it a little behind him, he couldn't hang on.
Found a soft spot in that zone defense, and oh boy, like I say, if he had been able to hold on. So Ainlay, flankers to this side, 3 of them. There's the snap high, pulled down by Hettinger, and Hettinger's pass is complete on the far side at the 20, into the 10, the 5, and going to be just shy of the touchdown, I believe. The referee taken down, gets up, signals.
I think what you might see here, we see it on the replay. Nice job by Ajo. I mean, he does a good job on this, but it looked to me like an illegal block out here. Yeah, they've got it on. Now you watch here. Watch what happens here. There is the block in the back right there. And, you know, so that the ball will come back. Now, I don't know who the official was on that far side.
Number 21 has been declined into the half.
It was a holding call that they decided to call.
Declined it because they didn't get in the end zone, so.
I think it's because they're cold and they want to go into the dressing room.
That could be. That could be.
You. And at the end of the first half of football, in the CARR Championship Final, it is the Harry Ainlay Titans 34 and the Bellerose Bulldogs 7. And stay with us for our halftime show. We'll be talking with the head coach of the Edmonton Wildcats, Darcy Park. And I know that Darcy is watching a number of these players very carefully out here. And I'm sure he'll have some things to say about the football game and about some of the players as well.
I'm sure he will. And, of course, Darcy, like Ian McLean in the first game, I mean, they're watching the players here, and there's a number of grade 12s. I'll guarantee you they're also watching the grade 10s and grade 11s. And they start recruiting fairly early with these young men because the University of Alberta is going to try to sign every kid they can out here. And that's historically what they've done, and they'll continue to do it. So it's tough for the junior teams to be recruiting with them.
And I guess in a lot of ways, I mean, it's not just the football program, it's the educational thing as well that is so important to some of these youngsters, which will determine which way they'll go or which team they'll go with.
That's a big part of it.
All right, let's take a look at some of the statistics. And, well, as you can expect, 344 yards total offense in the first half for this Harry Ainlay team.
And that doesn't surprise me. They hit a number of big plays. You look at what the score is, it's typical of what the stats show.
And the best part about it is, I guess if you're a Harry Ainlay fan, is that it's 190 rushing, 154 passing. Very good, very balanced offense.
Balanced offense, we talked about it before. They've got speed all over the field. They can do it with a run. They can do it with a pass. They got a good young quarterback who can put the ball on the money.
And as far as the Bellerose Bulldogs, balanced offense, yes, but only 60 yards rushing and 55 yards passing for a total of 115. And I don't expect that it'll get much better than that in the second half.
I suspect it will get worse. They've lost their starting quarterback, and so all of a sudden, he's the one that drove them down the field for most of that yardage.
Exactly.
So it might get worse.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll be talking with the head coach of the Edmonton Wildcats, Darcy Park. All right, with me, the head coach of the Edmonton Wildcats, Darcy Park. And Darcy, JB and I were talking before the game. We were kind of afraid something like this might happen with such a powerful team as the Harry Ainlay Titans.
Yeah, you know what? They're firing on all cylinders today. They've obviously got a lot of athletes. Before I came in here, I got a chance to see Quake Kozak, who got injured last week. And, I think if, Bellerose could have had him in here, they would have been able to control the ball a little bit. But, they were competitive. It's, again, last 3 minutes, just a couple turnovers, and a good team like Ainlay capitalizes.
It's so tough for a team like the Bellerose Bulldogs to take on a team like this Harry Ainlay squad. I mean, it's a bigger squad, more players on it, and a bigger school, obviously, as well. Makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean, they played tough during the year, and Ainlay again has so many weapons. I mean, they can run the ball with Jonathan Rosary. They can obviously throw the ball. I mean, they've got a grade 10 quarterback out there who looks like he's been playing football for 30 years, and again, their coaching staff does a great job of putting their players in positions to be successful, and the players executed. So, I mean, hats off to Harry Ainlay, but Bellerose is going to show a lot in the second half. We've got to watch them over the last couple weeks, and they're a physical team, and I know Coach Hill's going to make sure that they're playing right to the final whistle.
Well, as JB said, there's no quitting in that Bellerose team either.
No, and I mean they're going to play again next week, right? So again, you can build off of it. This is probably one of the best teams in Alberta. So you want to make sure again as you get into that provincial tournament that you've got some positives.
The conditions out there for these youngsters has got to be really, really tough on them. You've played in these kind of conditions. It's not fun.
No, it's been a long time since I had to play in these conditions.
Can you remember back then?
I'm not sure. But you know what, I think, the fact that you're playing in Commonwealth Stadium, I think that's going to alleviate maybe the field conditions. Both teams have to play with it. But, again, if something positive can happen for Bellerose early, they can get a little bit of momentum and, again, just go out and try and win the next play.
Well, as I said to Ian McLean in the game previous to this, you're in here working. I know that you're looking at a lot of these players. Somebody said you were salivating at the idea of a grade 10 quarterback out there, Eli Hettinger.
Yeah, I was fortunate to get to spend a couple weeks with Eli in the Western Canadian Championship. And I gained so much respect for him. He's such a great kid. Not just a great football player, but he's a student of the game. He works so hard. I think even if you look back to week one, to how he's progressed right now, again, he's not going to rest on his laurels. He's going to continue to work on his craft, and that's exciting. I mean, he's going to be a big leader for them for years to come.
As a coach, you come into a stadium like this, you're looking at a game like this. What specifically have you got in mind as far as the type of player that you're looking for, or a positional player or whatever?
Well, I mean, a lot of times we know who's going to get the ball. We've seen these teams play a bunch before, so we're kind of looking at what happens away from the play. How do they react when something goes bad? Are they, are they working with their teammates? Are they trying to build them up? Are they communicating, or are they kind of isolating themselves? So we're really looking at play away from the ball again, and you want to see, are they hustling on special teams and then how are they handling again when they get into these kind of competitions and big pressure-filled games of city championships. So, I mean, we were lucky. I guess I'll say lucky. I always look at the bright side. Our season ended a little earlier than we wanted to, so we've been able to get out to lots of the high school games over the last 3 weeks, and I'm just so impressed, with the talent that's out there and the coaching that's going on, and there's a lot of great football players coming. I
know, and I've talked to you many times about character. That's one thing that you look for definitely in football players.
Absolutely. I think that's where it all starts from, right? We want good kids who know what the right thing is and do the right thing all the time. And even if it's a pressure situation, you're still going to be relying on doing the right thing.
Well, Darcy Park, I know that you've got a good, busy off-season ahead of you, and I know you're looking forward to a great season next year. Thanks very much for stopping by.
Yeah, no, I think it's thanks for having me, and again, great job by ICU to be able to put this on and have something for the players to remember this moment for the rest of their lives.
It's our pleasure. All right, back at Commonwealth Stadium, Dave Rozak along with John Belmont. And John, you heard Darcy Park. He's really impressed with the caliber of football overall in the city here in the high school level.
Well, it's getting really good. And again, you look at programs like Harry Ainlay, like Bellerose, they're about the tops that there is in the community. Of course, Bellerose is St. Albert. It's not Edmonton. But you look at Harry Ainlay, they are by far the best in the city itself. Yeah. And again, you look at the talent that they have there, very, very good. Just solid talent. And he's got Darcy, as he mentioned and as you mentioned, there's so much in way of a competition for the players out there, particularly at this time of the year. With with the university and of course the Wildcats, the Huskies, the U of A Golden Bears. Well, it's a battle, David. It's always a battle in the recruiting wars when you have the three teams here and heavily recruiting and it's not the best situation. You look at every time you watch a U of A game, you see about 30 guys on the sideline that are red shirts or that could be playing junior football, even if half of them were there playing junior football, about 7 or 8 per junior team. Right now, we are the only city in Canada that has 2 junior football teams. Right. Mm-hmm. Personally, I would not want to see that change. And yet there are people talking about it. And a lot of that is what the U of A does in stacking their team. Mm-hmm. And so it makes it difficult. But Darcy and Ian McLean both do a great job recruiting. U of A has a little more money, and so the scholarship situation, they get some more players. And again, of course, the other thing too is for a lot of these players, so much depends on what they want to do with their future. Do they want to get a better education? Yes, they're probably going to go to the U of A. If they want to go into the workforce, then they maybe are going to stick with one of the junior teams. Well, and the big thing is that the way the eligibility works, mm-hmm. It would be, I think, and this is my opinion, it would be in the best interest of the player and for the U of A that players play a couple of years as junior because they still have 5 years eligibility left. They don't lose any eligibility. That's true. So if they go to the U of A, and this is what you see happening, a number of those players that end up at the U of A, see them standing on the sideline, where do they end up? They end up quitting football. Mm-hmm. A lot of them don't go and play junior. Some do, but some quit and some make the team. So it's difficult, and I understand the U of A's point of view. They want to get the best possible ball players, and they're afraid to lose players to other schools. So it's a thing where there has to be trust among the 3 teams. I'm not sure it is there. Is there any hope for that? I would hope so, but it's got to come. The 3 coaches have to work together, and not just the coaching staff. It's not just the coaches. The organizations. The organization, and basically, it is the head coaches of each organization that works these things out one way or another. So that's what it comes down to. All right, and that is our rant for the day, is it? It is our rant for the day. That's right. Because we're ready to get this second quarter underway. And it is going to be the Bellerose Bulldogs kicking off to the Harry Ainlay Titans. There's that little pooch kick again, and it is caught successfully again by the Harry Ainlay Titans, and so they will have good field position again to get this second half underway. They have good field position, but I'm not sure that's exactly what Bellerose wants. They don't want to kick it deep to one of those speedsters back there. Yeah. They can break it. They've definitely got the speed to break any kickoff. But you're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place, too. Well, you are. You're up around about midfield. Yeah. They've got the ball, so. But if they break it, it's 6 points right away, and that makes it tough. Back in the pocket, Hettinger, complete. Taken there by number 11, Brett Muth. And Muth picks up a gain of about 15 yards or so. And again, if you look at it, they come out slinging the ball right away, and they know they can throw on these people. And if you take a look at it, a well-executed pattern, ball was right where it had to be.
Ball on the 34-yard line. 34-7 in favor of Harry Ainlay over the Bellerose Bulldogs in the CARR Conference Championship Final. There's the handoff to Rosary. All kinds of room on the left side. Breaks a tackle and moves forward for a gain of about 20 yards. And a first down. They'll mark the ball just shy of around the 20-yard line or so.
They show it on
21.
the replay here. They pull it to the left tackle. He goes across. Bellerose folded in with him. Rosary just broke it back into that seam and got a very good run on it.
So many of his runs, he just barely escapes the tackler, and that's just a combination of power and speed on his part.
It is, plus the way the offensive line blocks. They keep people moving in one direction.
All right, Rosary again with the football. He is almost caught behind the line of scrimmage, takes off with it, and he is in for the touchdown. And that is the hat trick for Jonathan Rosary.
Now here's the other part on that play that's interesting. When you see it on the replay, Bellerose blitzes their linebacker. They had him in the backfield. And what ends up happening? That balance, that power he's got, he just broke it and kept running. Well, he ran right through the gap the linebacker came from. And then there was nothing to the end zone.
Now, of course, for Bellerose, this is not going to be their final game of the season. They have another one next week, and it's probably going to be in conditions very similar to what they're playing in tonight.
It is. You just hope that their young quarterback is going to be okay, that he can play.
There's the point after.
Kozowski's point after, good.
And with 10-11 to go in the third quarter, it's a 40-7 football game for the Harry Ainlay Titans over the Bellerose Bulldogs. The Bulldogs will get a chance to try their offense with their third-string quarterback, Corey Hannum, in there. What do you, as a coach, tell your quarterback now? I mean, he hasn't played quarterback all season long. I'm sure he's gotten a couple of reps, but not many. So what kind of game plan do you put together for him?
You put together what you know he's capable of accomplishing. You don't want to put him out on an island where he's going to get destroyed because he can't handle what you're calling. So I'm sure that what Coach Hill is doing right now, he's trying to figure out in his own mind, what is he capable of handling the best of his ability, and then he'll go from there.
Logan Mccullough on the kickoff, runs it back about 10 yards or so, and he is just demolished at about the 30-yard line.
And again, Harry Ainlay, they're just feeding off the energy that they've got, and they're just coming downfield hard on that. They blew right through the wedge. You watch it here. They wedge up. They're not totally tight. They come up, and here comes, what number is that? It just broke right from the outside by the wedge, made the tackle.
Looked like Taylor Leiber making the tackle. And there's a celebration almost after every play for this Harry Ainlay team. You know that they want this championship title, and they're well on their way to capturing it.
Well, they're very pumped up for it. There's no question.
There's a handoff, slant to the left side, and it is taken by Travis Heggert.
And you look at it, and what they're doing, again, they're running away from 99, but they're so strong on that front, and their middle linebacker so good that they just take care of things. They get the job done. If you notice, the left guard 99 is back in the ball game.
Jacob Perron.
He's playing at right guard now. Moved him to right guard.
Out of the shotgun. Hannum takes the snap, fires it to the far side. It is complete. It's got some blocking, and here's a chance for number 7, Logan Mccullough. Mccullough takes off with it and is finally stopped, but not before he picks up over 25 yards for the first down.
Well executed little screen out there, and I'm wondering if it was offside on Bellerose, or is it on, I mean, look at that, it's a little hitch screen, and it could have been holding. He called holding. That's what the call's going to be on the wide receiver.
So that's going to hurt.
Holding on the offense, number 86. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Nathan break, or make that Travis Heggert.
Well, all these young ball players are doing, Dave, they get out of those and they grab outside in the shoulder pads. All a defender has to do is turn his body a little bit, and you're in a holding position. They should be driving their hands inside on the numbers and then slowly working out. If they do that and block more with their legs than they do their hands, they'd be better off.
There's the pass. It is complete on this side to Matt Coogan. And the Titans were showing blitz there for just a minute, but the offensive line was able to pick it up quickly.
They did a nice job on it. You notice what they're doing with your quarterback here. They're giving him short passes. They're not trying to have him do too much, but they've got to get the blocks on these downfield to spring these receivers free. The one you had the hold there, we missed the block totally.
Just a confidence builder for Corey, of course.
It is, and now they have to punt out. Harry Ainlay get the ball back.
The punt coming from about the 15-yard line. No doubt Harry Ainlay Titans will be coming up with some good field position again. Here's a short kick down to the 50. And taking off with it on the left side is number 28, or make that 23, Emmanuel Logali. And he runs it back about 10 yards or so, and it'll be good field position at the 40.
Again, Harry Ainlay's got nothing but good field position. They're sitting in here now. I'm going to be interested to see when Harry Ainlay's going to call off the dogs here. You're up 41-7. You've got about halfway through your quarter. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see another quarterback come in here, maybe at the end of this quarter, maybe earlier.
Eli Hettinger at quarterback, grade 10er. His snap goes high, and he alertly just jumps on it. And it'll be a loss of about maybe 8 or 9 yards on the play, so it'll be second and long for the Titans.
A bad snap, and Hettinger showed a lot of poise on that. Just get down on the ball, give it up. You're up by a lot. Now we'll try to get the first down.
Well, you know, Darcy Park coached him in the Western Canada Championships, and very impressed. Not with just his abilities, but as a person too.
Everything I've heard about him, he's a class young man, and it's what you want as a quarterback. It's what you want on your ball club, period.
All right, there's the dump pass, and it is picked up nicely by the Bulldogs, Ben Van Leeuwen, and again a big loss on the play for the Harry Ainlay Titans as the Bulldogs defense comes up big.
But it was, and you look, Van Leeuwen come in hard from his defensive position there. Really a nice job, and blitzing, watch it. You're not going to see it on the replay. They're going to go to the punt, but just an excellent job. And number 22, he did not stand a chance on that right there.
Brett Yost also in on that stop.
They got a penalty, a time count violation. But if you look at both Yost and Van Leeuwen, they probably run a little stunt there because they're both playing defensive ends, and they got tremendous pressure right away.
Mark the ball down at the Ainlay 50-yard line. Third and third and a bunch. We'll leave it at that.
A lot of yardage. That's right.
Here's the kick. Good high spiraling punt. Coming down to about the 30-yard line. It's taken there by number 7, Logan McCullough. And there's going to be a no yards penalty, and it's going to be a 15-yarder.
Going to be no yards. And it's too bad because that was a wonderful punt into this wind. It was really a good job and angled it toward the sideline where he wanted to. But the coverage just got a little ahead of the punt.
Just looking at Logan McCullough, and he's hurting a little bit too now out there.
Well, he's playing a lot of football out there. And, he's been the return man who's carrying most of the returns. He's also been the prime receiver in most plays.
Oh, and he plays DB
and
too.
He plays DB too, so does it all. So.
All right, they march the ball up the field, 15 yards. And they'll mark it. Okay, counting in from the center field stripe. For the 43-yard line.
At their 43-yard line.
There's the snap, fumbled by Hannum. He gets it away and gets it to number 7, McCullough, and McCullough will be stopped after a gain of maybe a yard or so, but not much more than that.
He brought down by defensive halfback Ellison. Good play by Ellis. He played off on it and it came up hard from his defensive back position. But again, on these screens, this type of screens that Bellerose is trying to run, your receivers have to get up and block people, and they're not doing that right now.
And that one was almost picked off by that big number 99, Logan Mccullough.
And he can get he's got a vertical on him. He can get up, he'll knock a ball down.
Pass complete in the middle. Matt Coogan, and he'll pick up close to 15 yards on the play and enough for the first down.
And here's Coogan. He's also going 2 ways, and you know, well thrown ball and right where it had to be. Big first down.
All right, the Bulldogs move into Ainlay territory at around the 51-yard line with 5:19 to go in the third quarter. Anthem fakes once, downfield, and the pass short of the intended receiver, way over on the other side. Actually nowhere near him, but
what they were trying there, I think if they show the replay, it looked to me like it was either a wheel route or a double move route, and he got some pressure on him. Again, young quarterback, he was off the back foot and it didn't work. Here it is here. Now you watch the pressure get on right there. He just throws the ball up. Had the receiver, but he didn't put the ball where it had to be. And again, that's getting that pressure on him. He hasn't taken that many snaps.
Van Leeuwen, the lone setback. Now he moves to the right side. Oh, now they call a timeout. And Hannum will get some instruction from the coaching staff.
Metro Edmonton Athletic Association wishes to thank its sponsors who helped make.
But as you say, I mean, they're giving him what he can handle, and so far he's handled it well. Actually,
he's handled it pretty well. I think he's doing an admirable job out there for probably the amount of snaps that he's had during the season. He's getting more snaps in this game than he's had all year, and that might even include practice.
In his entire career,
That's
maybe.
Exactly right.
Heart rate monitored, high intensity workout.
Yeah, you come into a game like this and you're expecting to play your normal wide receiver position and maybe the odd defensive back shift, but all of a sudden you're thrown in there at quarterback.
36 hours. It's called the orange.
Well, that's it. I suspect that now you're probably seeing some backups from Harry Ainlay in there too. I noticed the corner on this side is not their starter, so.
Off the snap, rolling out to the outside. The pass is incomplete and intended along the sidelines for, I believe it was number 6 again, Matt Coogan, but he couldn't quite grab it.
No, and the ball was pretty well thrown.
At the Titans 50.
So now they'll be punting again.
This punt will come from around the 50-yard line or so. So Harry Ainlay may not have as good a field position as they've had the last couple of turnarounds. Good punts, and it's going to go all the way down into the end zone. It'll be taken and knelt there by number 23, Emmanuel Logali.
Good play by Logali from the point of view that what he has done, give up the point and get good field position. If he'd ran it out, he'd probably got up on the 10-yard line and it would have come to the 20-yard line. This way, it's going to come to the 35. Smart football by Logali.
First and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
And so with that, it's a 41-8 football game now in favor of the Harry Ainlay Titans, who will be taking on Salisbury next week in the provincial quarterfinals. So their season is far from over as well.
Salisbury's gotten better as the year's gone on, and they've improved dramatically, but they're not at the level that Harry Ainlay is, I don't believe.
Number 42, Daryl Marsh with coverage.
Harry Ainlay is, they're ramping up for a provincial run. That's what they want.
I suspect that Blake Dermott and his fellow coaching staff are probably sitting back at home in the in Blake's basement watching this game right now as we speak.
Well, they could be. I hope Blake's warm.
Wherever he is.
Wherever he is. I know he does color with the Eskimos, so I don't know if he's in Regina or
that's right,
if
he
he's
might be in Regina.
He might be in Regina.
2nd and 10 for the Titans. Back in the pocket. Ettinger's pass is incomplete. Intended out there for Brett Muth, but well over his head.
And well covered. Absolutely well covered.
And that'll bring up 3rd and 10. Harry Ainlay around 35.
3:32 to go in this third quarter. 41-8 in favor of Harry Ainlay. They'll be kicking this one away, and again, back there to take this one will be Logan Mccullough. And Mccullough standing at about his own 45-yard line.
He's had a lot of work today.
To say the least. And a good kick down to the 45. It'll be taken there, and wisely pouncing to the ground is McCullough, and there will be a 15-yard, no yards penalty against Harry Ainlay.
Again, very smart play by McCullough. He just got the ball, got down on it right away, and drew the penalty. Very good job by him.
He could have reached down and maybe even fumbled that ball if he had not just pounced on it right away.
That's exactly right, and you know they might have called it. I'm sure they would have called it anyway because that defender was well within the 5 yards. But you want to get on the ball as quick as you can in those circumstances.
So with that 15-yard penalty, the ball is moved into Harry Ainlay territory at around the 49-yard line. First down for the Bulldogs. There's the sweep and the handoff to Haggart. And we've seen that play previously in this game. And again, Haggart is pretty much strung out and will lose about 2 yards on the play.
And you look at it like Harry Ainlay has their backup middle linebacker in there. Braden Parson made that play, and he did a very good job on it. Grade 12 player. But they've got a few of their backups in, and they're still able to make plays.
The one guy they still have in there is that Lual Uguak, number 99, the big guy. There's the pass. It is going to be intercepted, and it will be Harry Ainlay football, intercepted by number 47, Connor Tawoniak.
Starting Will linebacker, and he threw it right to him. Again, inexperienced with a quarterback. He thought he could thread it in there and could not do it. Again, this is well-disciplined defense by Harry Ainlay. Now, their defensive coordinator, Tyler Greenslade, and Tyler played with the Edmonton Huskies, played with the Golden Bears, and he's on staff at Harry Ainlay High School and doing a very good job there.
All right, first down for the Titans. Ball at their own 42-yard line. Hand off, Rosary. Sweeps to the, make that number 26 for the Titans. 36 rather. That is Jean-Olivier Pité.
There you go. You said that
enough.
very, very well. But again, Ainlay's getting their young guys in there now and probably will the rest of the game.
And my apologies to his parents if I pronounced that wrong.
There you go. Better you than me.
Three flankers to the far side, back in the pocket. Now running out of it is Hedinger. Hedinger gets one away, and it is, are they calling it incomplete? Yes, they are.
Very good job by the receiver coming back to the ball. He didn't leave his quarterback in the clutch there. He kept working back to the ball even though it was incomplete. Went down low for it.
Kwajczak, the intended receiver, grade 11 student. Wide receiver and slot back.
And again, a good job on pressure by Van Leeuwen. And these defensive ends of Bellerose keep working. You know, and he's playing the whole game. He's playing on special teams, playing offense, defense. Keeps playing hard.
So the Bulldogs defense comes up big. And they force Ainlay into a punting situation. There's a short kick. It's going to roll out of bounds. And again, good field position for the Bulldogs. The question is, can they do anything with it?
Well, that is the question. And again, you get a situation, it's a short punt. but they didn't have no yards on that one. So they actually had better field position. Harry Ainlay has better field position. They had their last 2 punts.
Ball just shy of the 45-yard line. Out comes the Bulldogs offense. And back in there after being injured a couple of times is Jacob Perron once again.
Yeah. They keep going.
Handoff taken by Van Leeuwen. And he is stopped after a short gain.
One thing he has to do, Dave, is he's got to run lower. He's a tall young man, and you watch how high he's running. So he gets stood up, gets tackled up in the numbers, and it's easy to control him. If he gets low, he attacks under these people, and he would make a lot more yardage. But I suspect he's so tired out there right now that he's having trouble.
No problem getting down, it's just getting back up again.
That's exactly
You know
right.
about that, so do I.
Yeah. You and I, a little different from him. We're not working as hard as he is, and it's tough on us.
All right, here's the pass. Downfield, it is going to be complete. Logan Mccullough in behind coverage, had to reach back for that one, picked it up, and at the same time picks up a gain of about 45 yards. It's going to come back.
That's too bad. One thing that you find there that Taylor Lieber's a backup defensive back who was on him, and he looked back at the quarterback. He said stayed right on the receiver. That might have been an incomplete pass. That was a very well thrown ball. Excellent route.
Number 85, 5-yard penalty, second down repeated.
And that has the Bulldogs fans below us just infuriated, insisting that, hey, Harry Ainlay doesn't need any help from the referees.
The referees are just calling what's there.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can't blame them. They're calling it both sides. You know, again, Bellerose got some inexperienced people in here.
There's the screen pass in the middle. It is taken by Van Leeuwen, and Van Leeuwen crashes up. Enough for the first down, but a fumble, and Harry Ainlay saying they have it.
They're saying ball's down, and
oh boy,
you know, ball's down, and Van Leeuwen's down.
Van Leeuwen is down as well. Yes.
But interesting about that, you know, Harry Ainlay came with a blitz. Surprised me a little bit that they do it here, but they came with the blitz, and that was the perfect call for it. I mean, you had the screen. Here they come, and there's the ball. And it's just very well executed play.
And great job by Ben Van Leeuwen just to keep going, and
just kept driving for the first down.
Some assistance for the Titans off the field.
And well, he came down hard on his back, and I think he probably got the wind knocked out of him more than anything else. But
could very well be. That field's hard, and he's holding his wrist. By the looks of it, maybe he's got a frozen hand. You know,
And heading off the field.
But
just stick it in the snow.
Yeah, well executed play. Well, now wait a minute. Are they saying he's down there?
Apparently so.
Metro Athletics is so excited.
Oh no, it's a change in half, change in quarter.
At the end of the third quarter of football, it is the Harry Ainlay Titans 41 and the Bulldogs from Bellerose 8. And you'll have to forgive us, this is our second football game in less than a couple of hours.
We're going a little buggy, are we, Dave?
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I think I am.
It's cold weather. It affects us too. Even though we got heaters up here, windows are open for the cameras, and it gets pretty nippy up here.
Yeah.
We'd ask your cooperation in staying off the field at all
but it's
times
Alberta.
after the game.
November. We got to be used to it.
After the awards ceremony.
We're from Edmonton. We're tough.
The awards,
I keep hearing that.
So you're ready to go ice fishing, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the ice is forming on Pigeon Lake. I have to tell you that. The other day, a couple of days ago, I know it was the first time I saw ice on there this year. So
Well, you're going to have to tell me where the walleye are, because I sure can't find them.
They're in the lake.
Oh, good.
Usually in the lower parts.
at the Titans 49.
All right. It is first down for the Bulldogs. Ball on the 54-yard line. Back in the pocket, looking downfield. Hannum with a good pass. Can he get it there? And it is going to be incomplete. And again, just short of the intended receiver out there. And it was intended for Haggart.
Now the interesting thing on that, if you watch, and I forget what that number is, I didn't quite get the number, but he looked back at the quarterback again. If that ball's on the line where it should have been, that could have been a touchdown. Again, Terry Ainley's playing a few of their young guys in there.
Hannum with the handoff and taken down from behind the guy. They're going to call a horse collar tackle. I believe they are.
It'll either be horse collar or be face mask. It's one of the two.
Flags down on the play.
Brett Yost, the ball carrier. And this will be a
horse collar tackle.
A horse collar tackle, and it's going to move the ball 15 yards down the field and into Harry Ainlay territory for the Bulldogs. All the way down to about the 31-yard line. So good field position here for the Bulldogs on the penalty with 11:30 to go in the football game.
And it is, and the best part of this, you're keeping your defense off the field a little bit now. And that being said, a number of these fellas that are on the field are playing the defense, so playing two-way ball. But it's more fun on offense than it is on defense.
Especially when you're scoring.
It sure is.
Motion goes to the right, looking downfield. It is up and incomplete. Again, intended for Haggart. Haggart had the height and went up for it well, but just couldn't hold on to it.
No, it was a very good play by Dustin Ellis there. He had good position. He went up, and he's not a real tall fella, but he just had good position, got up, knocked the ball down. Very good play.
So it'll be 2nd and 10.
Bellerose's front really blocked that up well, too.
3 flankers to the far side for the Bulldogs. Single setback. Handoff, left side, and taken down at the line of scrimmage was Matt Coogan, who was going absolutely nowhere. Came across from his slot back position, took the handoff, and perfectly read, and I believe it was your big guy, number 99, Lual Ugak.
It is, and you really don't want to run to him because he is so strong. He'll fight off the blocks. He's got great footwork, leverages outside, and you want to come inside of him when you run.
So it'll be 3rd and 11, and of course the Bulldogs are going to go for it. No question about it at this point in the football game. 4 flankers on the far side, looking into the middle. Hannum fires to this side, and it is going to be picked off at the 10-yard line to the 20, 25, 30, 35, still going, and knocked out of bounds and around the 45-yard line is number 7, Dustin Ellis.
Ellis again played that well, but if you look, they had 4 receivers that side, but if you look the way they were sitting over here, they had everything covered on the weak side. You had to go strong side on that play. Yeah. Either that or release a back out, which they did not do. So, again, inexperienced quarterback, not seeing what's there, made a mistake.
Had the tunnel vision going, and
a little bit of tunnel vision, and hung the ball up a little bit. He's throwing into the wind here too, so that makes it a little difficult.
9:50 to go in the 4th quarter. There's the handoff, and stuffing it at the line of scrimmage was number 35 for Bellerose, Bronson Wilkie.
Very good job. Fought off the block, and of course you're talking about the linebacker just blasting in, which is what you like to see. Will linebacker, they didn't get a block on him.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Got 2 slot backs to the far side and a wide receiver. There's the handoff up the middle, and again that defensive line. And again, that same linebacker, Bronson Wilkie, shooting in and just nailing the ball carrier before he could even get to the line of scrimmage.
Did a very good job there. Really read it well. It's what you like to see in these circumstances, and we've talked about it earlier. Bellerose, there is no quit in them. Mm-hmm. They're playing hard, and they'll go hard right to the end of the game. Doesn't matter what the score is. This is the way you should be playing football.
3rd and 10. Ball on the 45-yard line. And the Ainlay Titans will be kicking this one away Spiraling kick, and it'll bounce out of bounds. And that'll be around the 35-yard line or so.
Yeah, in that case, the McCullough, he didn't get over to the ball. He just let her bounce out of bounds. And
I think Logan is probably just a little bit on the fatigued side, as you've been saying.
You think a little bit?
I think a little bit.
You know, he got home tonight. He's going to be one tired young man. I don't know if he's even going to even want to eat anything. And you know, for a teenager, that's pretty tough.
That is really tough.
Yeah.
He's got more football to play next weekend as well, as do these Harry Ainlay Titans against Salisbury. Back in the pocket now. Corey Hannum fires one. It is over the head of the intended receiver. It was a forward pass, and it is blown down, incomplete.
He's fortunate that one was not picked off. And it's actually handled pretty well. Again, Connor Twinick, he got out there really well and covered it. But this is going to be interesting now. You're second and long, and you're in minus territory. You've got to get a play vertical.
Back in the pocket again. Hannum into the middle. He's got an open, and it is complete to Haggard. And I think that may be the first time that they've been able to connect in this football game. Haggard hanging on to that one rather. And a gain of about 15 yards on the play. And
he did a very nice job on that. A good route and good catch. The ball was drilled in there very, very nicely.
At the 53-yard line.
Ball on the 53 now. First down for the Bulldogs. Hannum into the middle again. It is complete, incomplete, no signal. It is complete. And again, Haggard had to go low for that one, but he managed to pick it up before it hit the turf.
What you've got is on this side, you've got backup defensive backs for Harry Ainlay in, and they're just a touch slow on it. They're not like the starters. They're not exploding, but they're covering pretty well. So here they are. They're playing man coverage here.
Three flankers to the far side. On this side, the pass is up, and it is complete again to Haggard. And the big guy, number 86, Travis Haggard, has pulled down 3 in a row now.
Well, you got that's Caleb McNeil on him. His number 20 is corner, and Taylor Lieber, the halfback, are both their backups. And what I'm liking to see is Harry Ainlay is keeping their backups in. Some teams would say, oh, we're going to put the starters in, not on the score. That's how these young guys are going to learn to play. They've got to get out and go against these people.
Hannum, pass on the left side, complete to McCullough. And McCullough takes it down close to the first down marker at around the 6 or 7 yard line. Looks like they'll mark it at the 7, and he is going to be short by about a yard or so.
And this is a little hitch screen again, and look at the block by 86. Does a nice job on it. Gets up, just didn't keep his feet moving all the way, but he got the good initial block on. And that sprung that for 9 yards.
Second and less than a yard, and out of the shotgun, Corey Hannum continues to move this team. There's the pass. It is complete. Touchdown! Logan McCullough.
Nice little drive. And again, from my point of view, I appreciate Harry Ainlay leaving their backups in there, going down the field. Now, nice job by Hannum on this, and they get the tackle comes out, makes the block. The other receiver made a block, and McCullough was able to get inside for the touchdown. Well-executed play.
And it got to be a huge confidence builder, not just for Corey Hannum, the third-string quarterback, but for the entire offense of the Bellerose Bulldogs, knowing that they have more football to play next weekend. Here's the two-point conversion attempt. Hannum is taken down, and that will go for naught. And with 5:43 to go, it's a 41-14 football game in favor of the Harry Ainlay Titans over the Bellerose Bulldogs.
Well, that's right, and you know what? Again, good drive. Harry Ainlay had their backups in. They didn't do anything crazy out there. They left them in, and Bellerose scored. Now here's Bellerose playing with a third-string quarterback, but who are they going to? McCullough. He has done everything that Bellerose could ask of him today. He's just had a marvelous game, and it's tough being out there playing under these conditions. and to play two ways.
And of course, next weekend, the Bulldogs will be back in action. We don't know who they're going to be playing against yet. It's probably been decided down in Calgary, but it's the fourth place team in Calgary whom they will be playing next weekend. So
well, it'll be interesting to see who that is. Here the Bellerose got a UR after that last play on the attempt of the two-point conversion. So they're kicking off now instead of from the 45, from the 30-yard line. So Harry Ainley's going to get the ball in very good field position.
Waiting for the kickoff. Time is signaled in, and we're set to go. Here's the kick by Van Leeuwen, and it's a short one, and it'll be taken by Harry Ainlay. And I mean, that's the third one that they've tried, and all three of them have been unsuccessful.
Well, I'm not sure again of that. I'm thinking that might even be more like a pooch kick. Mm-hmm. If they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. But they're not going to allow their speedsters in the back to get a big return on them. But because they're kicking off from the 30-yard line, you look where they are. Now Harry Ainley's sitting on about, what, the 48-yard line.
47, 48-yard line, yeah.
Plus territory, so they're in pretty good shape here.
Hettinger is still in at quarterback. Looking downfield, incomplete and intended there for number 23, Emmanuel Logali. Or make that, it was 23, Logali, so didn't really make much of an effort for it.
No, he looked a little lazy on that. And, you know, Ajo is still in. It surprised me a little bit that they've got, it looks like most of their starters are in. I don't know. I don't think their tailback is in the game.
Sony Bermudez Chavez is in there.
Yeah.
On this side.
A few guys in there.
Bellerose has called their final timeout of the game.
And just a reminder to both teams at the end of the game and after the handshakes, if you could line up on your respective 45-yard lines, and we can do the awards presentation at that time. And also, football fans, please a reminder.
These timeout situations,
the awards presentation.
You know, it'll be interesting with Bellerose. They got a second and long here. Are they going to blitz? Are they going to come after people, play tight man coverage? Are they going to loosen off? We'll have to see. I would not be a bit surprised if Harry Ainlay tries to go deeper. They want their guys getting reps, and I haven't checked their offensive line out. I don't know if that's their starters all still in there or not.
As we mentioned, the Titans will be taking on the Salisbury Sabres next weekend.
That'll be, like I say, it'll be an interesting game. Salisbury's a pretty young ball club.
Well, this time of the year, it's a long road to the provincials. There's no question about that. For any team that has to go the whole route. There's the pass into the middle, incomplete, and again intended for Emmanuel Logali. He just couldn't hold on.
Again, the run of that diagonal, that was very well covered. They played man coverage on that. He came across and played it extremely well.
That play has been a successful one for the Titans throughout this football game. In fact, Logali scored a touchdown on us.
Early in the game. He got that touchdown, that's right, and they executed it very well.
Into the final 5 minutes of the football game. Hettinger still at quarterback, or make that punting it away. And a good punt by number 15, Nick Kozowski. And Kozowski angles one out. And it'll be first down for the Bulldogs.
There is a flag down. I don't know if it's offside on who. It looks like it would be an offside call.
It's going to go against the Titans, it looks like.
They would probably decline this. Nick Kozowski, the punter for Harry Ainlay, grade 10 student. Mm-hmm. His dad is the punting coach and kicking coach at the University of Alberta and was a place kicker and punter for us at the U of A when I was coaching with Jim Donnelly many years ago. And Steve ended up, he came out of St. Francis Xavier High School. And he had the all-time kicking record for many, many years. And I think it was John Cutler that ended up breaking it. But he was a very good kicker for us. Ended up playing for Joe Farragelli with the old Montreal, was the Concord of the old World League.
Yeah, Montreal Concord.
Yeah, and was there for a while. And back in Edmonton, and now he's helping over with the University of Alberta again, handling their kickers. But I kid him, I say his son is a better athlete than he was.
Here's Hannum, he's being hurried, gets the ball away, it's going to be short, and we're going to have an interference call against the Titans, and I believe, well, Travis Heggart was the intended receiver, and I believe the call is going to go against James Thompson-Dick.
You know,
we'll have to wait and see.
I don't know about this. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't. It looked to me like he slipped more than anything, but one of those things. He calls it, he calls it.
Pass interference, number 3, 15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, unlike the first game, we're getting a fair number of flags in this one. The first contest, there were actually very few, and we couldn't recall one UR in the whole.
No, and in this game, though, it's the second half where it's happened.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's nothing really big stuff, but because this game has been well played as far as clean football, just good hard football.
That handoff to number 29, Ben.
But yeah, it's been the one UR. I saw a couple of interference calls, could go either way.
So Ben Van Leeuwen, the ball carrier, he'll pick up 7. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Van Leeuwen was 6 yards on the play, 2nd and 4.
All right, they call it 2nd and 4.
At the 51.
3:42 to go in the football game. Hannum, pass almost picked off on the sidelines, and going up very quickly for it was number 44, Mark Lee, but he couldn't haul it down.
No, the big thing there is that they've been going to this hitch screen a fair amount, and Harry Ainlay played that very smart. They were just in the right position. When he turned to throw, defender was right there. Almost got the
Ladies and gentlemen, just an update. Due to the field conditions today, you will not be allowed on the field at the conclusion of the game. You can take as many pictures as you'd like from the first row of the stands, but no fans will be allowed on the field due to the safety concerns. Thanks for your
Did you hear the PA announcer just mentioning about the field field conditions rather? They want as few people as possible on that turf. Granted, it is a very good turf, but again, you know, any kind of extra activity on it could be detrimental. And we know the Eskimo season is far from over, and they just might have a home game next weekend.
They could. They win and Winnipeg loses. They will have a home game. Now, Bellerose just attempted a fake on that punt and tried to run it, and Ainlay defended it extremely well. So Ainlay has first down and plus territory.
Ball at the 52-yard line in Bellerose territory. Hettinger at quarterback. Most of the starters in the offense are still out there. Hettinger hands it off, and it is taken by number 21, Jackson Hume. And the speedster gets around the corner, but then is cut off on a good job by one of the Bulldogs linebackers, number 42, Daryl Marsh.
It was a good job, but again, fairly well blocked, and he's got good speed. And this is, again, one of their backups who shows us a real good speed. Harry Ainlay has. And so a big first down.
And a first down for Harry Ainlay.
Very good plus territory.
Jackson Hume, a grade 11 student, so he's still got another year of high school eligibility left. Single setback for Hettinger. Staying in at quarterback, motion goes left. There's the pass on this far side, complete at about the 15-yard or 20-yard line. And a good job of holding onto the ball by number 11, Brett Muthers. He was thrown to the ground rather heavily.
He was, and well passed ball on that play. Settled down, caught the ball. The defender was a step slow. So here he comes to take the ball and hammers him down. Real good job hanging onto the ball.
Well, that's got to hurt landing on that field.
I'm glad it's him and not me.
You got that right. Two flankers to this side, two to the other side. There's the handoff and caught in the backfield is number 36, Jean-Olivier Pité.
And again, good pressure from Bellerose. They brought a little bit of heat, and those ends of theirs. Van Leeuwen, he plays hard, and I believe that was
ultimate loss of 5 yards.
number 35, Wilkie again.
Yep.
The Will linebacker just did a real nice job on that play.
Well, really, defending against the run here in this fourth quarter has been outstanding for the Bulldogs. They've stopped the running backs a couple of times at the line of scrimmage.
They really have.
4 flankers to this side, 1 to the far side. Motion goes left, and looking left is Ettinger, complete in the end zone, touchdown. Ajo.
But here's another situation that it's interesting. The flag down. I wonder if this is going to be against Ainlay.
It is.
That's against Ainlay, and it might be against Ajo, jumping off a little quick to get up the field. He had a seam route or a jet route and did a good job.
So they'll repeat the third down, and it'll be 3rd and about 11 to go. Ettinger is staying out there.
I am a little surprised that Harry Ainlay is doing this on a 3rd down situation. You're up 41-14 with 1:47 to go. You know, paybacks can be tough in this game, and coaches remember things.
Ettinger rolling out, passes complete at the 20-yard line, and taken there by number 23, Emmanuel Logali. And Logali's had himself just an outstanding football game.
That's again coming across the field. He's done that extremely well in this ball game. And you look at it, he comes across. I believe it's 1st down for Harry Ainlay. Well executed play.
A 13-yard gain for Logali and a 1st down for the Titans, now at the 17-yard line.
Here's the handoff right up the middle. The big guy is carrying it, number 36, Jean-Olivier Pité, and he will carry it all the way down to about the 2 or 3 yard line.
Again, well executed play, just quick, good blocking by the offensive line. They blew the defense off of there. This is going to be difficult now to stop him here down inside the 5 yard line with 1st down, 1st and goal.
1:27 to go. Olivier, the single setback, Olivier Pité, sorry, the single setback, and now back in the pocket, looking into the end zone. Great fake, got me. And it is taken by number 23, Emmanuel Logali, into the end zone.
And again, they come off that same type of action on the fake, and they just, you watch it here, they just hand off to the fly back coming across, and he works it in for the touchdown. Here it is here, and there was the handoff. Now, they had him in the backfield, but got a little tired.
All right, here comes the point after with 1:12 to go. Ball is up, and it is through the uprights. And with 1:12 to go, it's a 48-14 score in favor of the Harry Ainlay Titans over the Bellerose Bulldogs. And that's just about the final score of the last time these two teams played. It was a 44-13 victory, I believe it was, for Harry Ainlay over the Bulldogs.
And when they did that to them before, they were playing with their first-string quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know, Bellerose has gotten a lot better in that time. They've lost some players, which has really affected them because of their numbers and the quality of the players that they've lost. Harry Ainlay is much stronger, much more depth.
You know, the other thing too, and I talked to Chad Hill about this, the simple fact that Harry Ainlay has so many more schools to pick from, junior schools and that than what the Bulldogs would have.
Well, they do that, but they also get out and recruit hard. They've got kids from all over the city and kids from outside the city. Let's not kid ourselves. And they've been doing this for a long time. Their administration must go along with it. So, you know, they get a lot of good players, and players want to go play there.
But are the Bulldogs allowed to recruit out of the city, or do they have to stick around the St. Albert area?
I don't know with St. Albert. I don't know what the story is. I know they've had a couple of kids come in where the families have moved into St. Albert, and they've gone to Bellerose. But no, I don't think, to my knowledge, they don't actively recruit outside of St. Albert.
And that's got to be a hindrance just in itself.
Could be. One thing, though, that I know Chad Hill does a marvelous job with is how he coaches, how he works with these young people and brings them along. So, you know, you take a look at it, and over the years, the Bellerose Bulldogs have produced a lot of good football players.
Nathan Brake picks up his first pass of the football game, and it's enough for the first down as they move the ball into Harry Ainlay territory at around the, we'll call it the 46, 47-yard line.
That was a well-executed play.
42 seconds to go in what has been a long evening for this Bellerose Bulldog team.
And there we had a blitz by Ainlay, and they did a good job shutting down this running play with it.
Ben Van Leeuwen, the ball carrier, picks up close to 5 yards, so we'll call it second and around 5.
Close to 5 yards on the play, second and 5. Now at the 42.
This is Hannum once again back in the pocket, firing long to Haggard. It is over his shoulder. He had to turn around to get it and couldn't get there in time.
Number 7, Dustin Ellis.
Yeah, and Ellis had good coverage on that also. Did a nice job with it.
All right. The clock continues to move here. There's the pass. It is incomplete and intended out there for Logan McCullough with 6.6 seconds to go in the football game.
Ball underthrown, and I think this young Hannum fellow has done a nice job to come in under difficult circumstances. He has driven them for 1 touchdown, and again, Coach Hill is doing with him what he's capable of doing. And done a nice job out there. Harry Ainlay now, I believe, will just take a knee and end the ball game after 1 play.
And for the Bulldogs' sake, well, let's just hope that their quarterback, Cordell Caillou, will be okay for that game next week against whoever they happen to play out of Calgary.
You certainly hope so. You certainly hope so. He showed some good things out here also, and they don't need any more injuries.
And there it is, the final whistle. And the Harry Ainlay Titans defeat the Bellerose Bulldogs by a score of 48-4. They are the CARR Conference champions here in Edmonton in Metro Athletics football.
And a well-deserved. I mean, they're by far the better team right throughout. You hate to see with the injuries that Bellerose had, but even if they had Chad, if Caillou had been able to stay through the whole game, Harry Ainlay was a better ball club.
Oh yeah, and I think we can safely say too that even though the score was 48-14, I don't feel like Bellerose was outplayed by that much of a score, especially defensively against the run. They held their own.
No, they did fairly well. They got beat by some big plays early.
Oh yeah,
and definitely affected them. And you know, Chad Hill's got to be very proud of his team and what they've accomplished this year. Now, Harry Ainlay and both teams are going to go on into provincial play. Harry Ainlay, I believe, has an opportunity to win the provincials at their level this year in Tier 1. They are that good a ball club, and they're very well coached. The entire coaching staff at Harry Ainlay has got to be commended for the things that they've done all year, and I'm sure that they are very much looking forward to getting into provincial play.
Well, you know, you talk about that provincial championship, and Harry Ainlay certainly deserves to be there. There's no question. They will be in tough, as any team from the north always is, against, well, it's either going to be a Notre Dame Pride or the St. Francis Browns, and probably St. Francis Browns. But I mean, either one of those teams is just so powerful.
They're very powerful. But Ainlay is up there with them.
Yeah.
They're up there with them in all facets of the game, both offense, defensive line play. I don't know if either St. Francis or Notre Dame has the flat-out speed that Harry Ainlay has in the number of positions that they have. So this is what's going to be interesting in provincial play. I think Harry Ainlay has an excellent opportunity to win a provincial title this year.
And, you know, you speak of the South, and we haven't really mentioned much about them in this football game, but even Raymond, for every 3 or 4 or 5 years, Raymond comes back, and they have this very powerful football team in what is it, Tier 2?
Well, you got to wait until he gets some more Ralphs down there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, of course,
yeah, what's
Brock
wrong
is
with
from
them?
there. That's right.
I thought they bred like rabbits.
But you know that's the thing, and as the family, the cousins, and all. I mean, they're great athletic family.
Oh.
And just done a marvelous job in Raymond over the years. They had the great run there. But you look at Brock's doing such a good job here coaching, and done a great job with Harry Ainlay.
They would be the Sutters of football.
That's right. That's exactly right.
All right. Let's go downstairs and the presentation of the trophies.
If we could draw your attention to midfield, we will commence with the presentations. Metro Athletics would like to recognize the winner of the 2017 CARR Division Halliburton Award for Most Valuable Player this season. Each team nominated one player for the award, and coaches voted on the division winner. The nominees for the 2017 Halliburton Award: Dylan Williams from Austin O'Brien, Quaid Kozak from Bellerose, Ty Smith from Bev Facey, John Rosary from Harry Ainlay, Maurice Dobbs from Jasper Place, Mark Barber from Ross Shepherd, Costin Waken from Salisbury. And ladies and gentlemen, the 2017 CARR Division Halliburton Award winner is Quaid Kozak from Bellerose. Presenting Quaid with his trophy is former councilman Brian Anderson. Congratulations, Quaid, on an excellent season. We will now turn our attention to the presentation of the gold and silver medallions along with the championship trophy. The official party presenting the medallions and plaques and joining us on the field are Brian Anderson, former City of Edmonton councillor, Ryan King and Kalonji Kashama, current Edmonton Eskimos, and Hayden Erickson, Orange Therapy Fitness Sherwood Park manager. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to present the CARR Conference finalist Bellerose Bulldogs with their silver medallions. And now we would like to present the CARR Conference champion Harry Ainlay Titans with their gold medallions. And we would like to call the captains of the CARR Conference champion Harry Ainlay Titans to please come forward to accept the championship trophy and banner emblematic of supremacy in the CARR Conference for 2017. Come and get it, boys. You've earned it. Congratulations.
Congratulations indeed to the Harry Ainlay Titans, recipients of the CARR Conference Championship Trophy for 2017. And JB, it's been an interesting and very cold night of football here at Commonwealth Stadium, but two great teams with two great victories, very deserving.
Absolutely. Both Skona and Harry Ainlay very deserving of their victories. All four of the teams that we saw today extremely well coached. And if you looked at it, very few penalties through both games. You got the odd one, but both games played very cleanly.
2/3 of our coverage of the City of Edmonton Metro Football Championships has concluded. Come with and join us next Wednesday, if you would, for the Gilfillan Division Championship, which will feature Emmy Lazard against the Fort Saskatchewan Sting, and join John Belmont and Kevin Donnan for that one, as I get to sit back in my nice warm couch and watch it on TV. Thank you very much. You did a great job, and thank you to everyone who watched and tuned in tonight. We'll see you again real soon. Thank you.